In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the order of operations. Our objectives are to understand the order of operations and to understand how to use the order of operations. Vocabulary. The order of operations. Directions for how to evaluate math problems correctly. Okay, this is important. The order of operations is not math. It is directions to using math in the correct order. So it's kind of like the directions you get with a set of Legos. You don't have to follow the directions, but if you don't follow the directions, you might not make something that looks like what's on the box. If we don't follow the order of operations, our math problem may turn out right, may be really close, but it may also be wrong. If we do follow the order of operations and we do it correctly, we should get the right answer every time. So, do we have to follow the order of operations exactly as it says? Not all the time, but if we follow it every time, we should be okay. Now the order of operations, some of you might have learned something like PEMDAS or Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. I don't use those because a lot of times what that does is it gives a misconception in a lot of people's minds as to what to do first, multiply or divide, what to do first, add or subtract. When in reality, you don't multiply before you divide, you don't add before you subtract, and that's what I want to explain here. So first, we always try and take care of parentheses, and what I mean by that is everything inside the parentheses. And we follow the order of operations on the inside of that parentheses. So we're going to follow these 4 steps inside the parentheses also. Anytime you see OOO, it's just an abbreviation for order of operations. Exponents, we would do second. So once all the parentheses are taken care of, we would take care of any exponents that are left. Our third step is to multiply and divide. Notice there's the and sign in there. What we do is we look at the left side of the problem and we do whatever's on the left first, and then we work our way to the right. So if division's on the left, multiplication is on the right, we divide first, we multiply second. This also works for adding and subtracting. That's our 4th step and our last step. We go left to right. If add's on the left, we add first. If subtraction's on the left, we subtract first. Just depends on the order, not which one, not based off of PEMDAS or something like that. So these are our 4 steps. All that's left is really just to practice using them then. So we're going to start with this problem on the left. So the first thing that I would do is I need to start with my parentheses. So inside the parentheses, I have subtraction and multiplication. Well, multiply was first, so we're going to do 3 times 2, which is 6. And then we have 5 minus 6, which is going to give us -1. Now the parentheses is gone, but there wasn't a sign in between here, so that means that this is multiplication. So I'm going to bring down a multiplication sign and bring down all the numbers around the -1, because that -1 has taken the place of 5 minus 3 times 2. Our next step, no parentheses, so now we go to exponents. Here's an exponent problem. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. Bring down everything around it. Okay, our next step is multiply and divide. Well, from left to right, we get to this multiplication first. 2 times -1, which is -2. Bring down my plus sign, bring down my 9, bring down my -8. Now I want to do adding and subtracting. So we have 9 plus -2, which is really just 9 minus 2, which is 7, minus 8 is -1. Alright, let's try another version. So now we have this problem. Notice, no parentheses, so we don't do that step, we skip it. No exponents, again, we skip that step. So now we're on to multiply and divide. Well, there's divide and multiply. A lot of people think you multiply first. Division's on the left, we have to do that first. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Bring down everything else. Now we've got multiplication on the left, so we do that. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down everything that's left. Okay, there's no multiplication or division left, so now we're on to add, subtract. Subtraction's on the left, we do it first. 12 minus 6 is 6, plus 11 leaves us with 17. Alright, that's integers. Sometimes a problem may have decimals in it, so we want to look at how we would deal with decimals. Now this has decimals and integers. One thing to see here is there's this big division bar. Okay, to do this division, we have to get one number on top and one number on the bottom. So really what we have to look at is we have to look at it like there's a parentheses around the top, because we want to do that first. If there was more than one thing on the bottom, it'd be like there's a parentheses around that, and we'd want to do that first also. So we have to do all the math inside that parentheses. So we've got times and subtract. So we'll do this times first. So negative 3.2 times 4. Get out a calculator if we need it, or do the longhand. That is negative 12.8. We then want to subtract 2.4. So that's going to be, if we use our addition rules, that's going to be negative 15.2. Bring down your divide by 2, bring down your plus 7.1. Now we want to divide this out. Remember, a fraction bar is just a division bar. We can put it into the longhand division table if we need to. This is going to be negative divided by positive is negative. 15 divided by 2 is going to give us 7. Then we're going to have 1 left over, so it's going to be 2 into 12, which is 6. Bring down my decimal point. And then plus 7.1. Now we have negative 7.6 plus 7.1. Well, that can rearrange to 7.1 plus negative 7.6, which rearranges to 7.1 minus 7.6. So since the second number is bigger, that means it's going to be a negative answer, and we just do 7.6 minus 7.1, which gives us 0.5. So this is negative 0.5 here. The last thing that we want to look at is how do we deal with fractions. So we're going to go about, here's parentheses. There's nothing to do in the parentheses, so we're going to go right on to exponents. We want to square this. So this is really 1/2 times 1/2. Some people need to write that out. Top times top, bottom times bottom should give us 1/4. Rewrite everything so that we don't miss anything. Then we have some division in here, so we got to do that before we subtract or add. So we're on to this step here. Some people, when they're doing fractions, like to just rewrite the problem away. So 2/3. We're going to keep, change to multiplication, flip the second number, and we're going to get 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. Might just be a little bit easier to leave it this way because we're going to have to get common denominators. So we're going to go 10 over 6. We got 5 over 2, and we've got plus 1/4 here. Okay, at this point we need common denominators for 2 and 6. The easiest thing may be just to get common denominators of 2, 6, and 4. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 6, 12, 18, 4, 8, 12. Looks like all of them work with 12. So we're going to get a common denominator of 12. 2 turns into 12 by multiplying by 6. So that's going to be 30. 6 turns into 12 by multiplying by 2. So that's going to be 20. And 4 turns into 6 by multiplying by 3. So that's going to be 3 over 12. So here we go left to right. 30 minus 20 is going to be 10. 10 plus 3 is going to be 13 over 12. Alright, this has been the order of operations. I know that this is a difficult concept. We're going to be working on it for a while. But if you missed anything, please rewatch the video or rewatch a part that you struggled with and bring any questions to class. Thank you.